Hello, white people. Ohio legislature passes bill banning schools, universities from requiring the poison stab. And if we scroll down here, this bill bans public schools and universities from requiring stabs that haven't received full approval from the FDA. So it says all CV19 stabs in the U.S. have been given emergency but not full approval. Anyway, and then down here it says this bill wouldn't apply to private schools or public hospitals. So I was under the assumption before I saw this that everybody was protected from being forced into getting the CV19 poison stab. But I was wrong. So what is it that you do? You quit. Especially if you're a good employee. If you're a good employee and you quit, you're going to hurt that company and they're going to bow to you. Don't bow to them. Even if, even if you're financially strapped or whatever, just take your money, and the only things that you should be paying for are your walls and your food and I mean gasoline, whatever, basics, stuff like that. But if you got a lot of debt you're paying on, like a car payment, all kinds of other stuff, just whittle it down to the very basics that you need to pay. Stand by your principles. Don't let anybody manipulate you. And they're counting on people who who spend every single dime they make. They're going to manipulate them. They're going to keep up at these tactics because they work. First they told people they wouldn't be able to travel unless they got this poison stab. And then they said they won't be allowed to go shopping. And now they're saying that they won't be able to go to work. So, stand by your principles, even if you got to quit and life gets hard. There's people out there that will also help you and support you. There's a lot of people who are against this stab. And don't feel alone. If you're in a position, don't ever feel alone, because something that gives me strength. When I a few years I got sick from I had anemia and some other health issues, and God sent the Mormon missionaries. Now, mind you, I'm not Mormon. But anybody who brings with them the Word of God, and I know some people are like, oh, Mormons are evil, whatever, okay? Yeah, there's some evil people in the church. There's some bad people. There's bad people everywhere, but the majority of us are good people. And so these young people come, and one of the girls says to me, Jesus has gone through every trial and tribulation there is. And to me, I felt less alone in my struggles in life. And every time something seems hard or out of reach or painful, like, heart-wrenching, because, like my mom is sick and everything, and that's pretty heart-wrenching for me, and it just takes a lot of strength for me to keep it together some days. I just want to burst into tears, especially when she says to me, am I going to live? Or she'll say to me, I don't want to die. She's going through, have you ever heard of Maslow's hierarchy? Not Maslow, what am I saying? I'm sorry. Kubler-Ross, 5 stages of grief. I don't know why I said Maslow. Kubler-Ross, 5 stages of grief. Now, you don't go through these stages exactly the same. No two people go through them exactly the same. You don't go through them. The last step is acceptance. But and Kubler-Ross was, I believe, a hospice nurse, and she observed people when they were dying and the emotional processes that they went through. And so there was shock, anger, bargaining. I forget what the fourth one is, and then the fifth one is acceptance. I don't know why. Shock, bargaining, anger. Oh, denial and acceptance. So the first 4, you're gonna like fluctuate back and forth. You might be angry one minute, you might be in denial the next, you might be shocked. It's It's not some sort of clean thing that you go through. So my mom, she has these moments where she's in shock and, she doesn't want to die, especially when they told her she had all these tumors in her brain. God, can you even imagine? Can you imagine what my poor mom is going through? She's only 70 years old, and she's got, if she didn't have this, she's probably planning on living to be 90, something like that. But anyway, what else was I going to talk about? So she went to a doctor appointment today, and I'm sitting in the car waiting for her. And so it's in Portland, right? And some asshole comes up to... Okay, so I'm sitting in the car, I got the windows down. Something in my head says to me, roll up the windows. And I had the car off, so I rolled up the windows. And about a minute later, somebody's knocking on my window. This Mexican guy or Hispanic guy, whatever he was, he wanted a cigarette. He's telling me he wants a cigarette. I looked at him like, what kind of fucking idiot are you? I looked at him, and I had the windows rolled up in my car. I'm sitting in the car, windows rolled up. He's asking me for a cigarette, mind you. So I looked at him. I gave him some time to, turn around and leave because he's stupid. And I said, get the fuck away from me. It shocked him. And then, when he knocked on the window, I was looking at my cell phone. I wasn't even paying attention. And, in Portland, I was just like, God, you can't have any freedom to do anything because somebody's going to bother you. Anyway, so I watched him for a while, and he got a cigarette from somebody, and he's standing in front of the car, and he's kind of wiggling around, and pretty soon, and then he leaves. He gets on public transportation and leaves. But until then, I thought, okay, I can take this guy. If I had to take this guy, I can take this guy. This weirdo, he had his britches. The belt line of his britches about the middle of his thighs. You ever see these people? They're walking around like they got a load of crap in their pants. What is wrong with people that do that? That's just so retarded looking. It's dumb. Why do people do that? Anyway, so my mom got back from the doctor's appointment, and her nose is red, and she's got her face, all... she looked like she was crying, and she hands me her schedule for the next doctor's appointments, and she asks me, she says, am I going to live? And I said, Mom, we're all not going to live together forever. I do not know how much longer any of us are going to live. That's kind of a stretch there. You can't ask me that question. And I don't have any answers. And anyway, so she was going through, it's really hard to watch my mom go through this. And I have these moments where it feels just so heart-wrenching, and all I want to do is lay down and just sob. And I take those moments and I let that energy out, because if you hold that kind of energy in, then you just make yourself sick. So I make sure on a regular basis that I connect with my really close friends and family, whatever, and not my siblings, though. I have not connected with my siblings or anybody who's real close to my mom and done that. It's always people that are not close to my mom that I'm sharing these emotions with, because the people that are close to my mom are going through these emotions too, and I won't burden them. But by the same token, I'm not holding on to these emotions. You know what I mean? I'm not making myself sick. I'm getting these emotions out so that I can be there. I can be present. I can be, you know what I mean? So I'm not overwhelmed by other people's emotions because my emotions are so overwhelming. Does that make any sense? This is really a weird time in my life. I've had several family members pass away, but this is, you only got one mom and one dad, right? So, and I don't know, some people say it's your mom that, you grieve the hardest for, but I think it depends, it's a very individual experience. So I have not spent any time with my siblings since I've been back to Washington. I've been avoiding them because I'm afraid of their emotions, and I don't want anybody to take care of me. And you know what I mean? Take care of my emotions. I mean, I have people that I've designated to take care of my emotions, but I don't need my siblings. My siblings aren't like that, though. They're not real weird. They're good people. I'm really blessed. I have good siblings. I have a pretty good family. Not like a perfect family, but I mean, who has a perfect family, right? Anyway, it's tough to be going through this, and plus it's tough to, see all this stupidity. Gosh, I hate being in Portland. I hate being in Vancouver. I hate it, you guys. I hate it. I want to go back to Ohio. Please, I want to go back to Ohio. I love my life in Ohio. It's just wonderful. Anyway, so I was on what is it? It's not Spotify or something like that. This one merchant website. I know Spotify is like some music thing. I'll have to look again. And so I was looking for the website Hello White People. And hellowhitepeople.com is not available. Believe that. That's sad. But hellowhitepeople.store is available, and hellowhitepeople.shop is available. Those are available. So I'm thinking about starting a website that's it's Hello White People, and doing a soap line. Like all my soaps and bath stuff and all that. Call it Hello White People. I just have to design some labels and whatever, and the design template that I use, it's from onlinelabels.com, so I'm real limited on the graphics I can use for that. But I mean, it doesn't have to be too fancy, does it? Hello White People. I like the ring of that, don't you? I like how it sounds. So hopefully I can come up with something clever. All right, white people, that's damage for now. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to your thoughts below.